Have you ever noticed how your money disappears faster when things get tight? When an unexpected expense hits, when the economy shifts, when something breaks down, suddenly all those plans you made vanish into thin air. You start the month with intentions, maybe even a budget written down somewhere, but by week 3, you're back to guessing, hoping, praying. The account holds out until the next paycheck. Financial planning isn't failing because you're bad at math. It's failing because you've been treating it like an option, like something you do when everything is calm and predictable. But life isn't predictable, and that's exactly when you need control the most. Most people think financial planning is about spreadsheets, apps, and perfect tracking. They imagine someone sitting down with colored charts and future projections, calculating every cent months ahead. That image is intimidating. It feels like something only people with extra time and extra money can do. So they don't start. Or they start and quit after 2 weeks because it feels too rigid, too controlling, too much like living in a cage. The truth is, financial planning isn't about perfection. It's about knowing where you are right now, in this moment, with the money you actually have. It's about having a map when the storm hits, not a promise that the storm won't come. Think of it this way. You wouldn't drive across the country without knowing your fuel level, where the gas stations are, or what roads lead. Where? You wouldn't just get in the car and hope things work out, but that's exactly what most people do with their money. They wake up, spend, earn, spend again, and hope it balances out by the end. Sometimes it does. Most times it doesn't. And when it doesn't, they blame bad luck, low income, the economy, inflation, anything except the absence of a plan. Because admitting you don't have a plan means admitting you've been driving blind. And that's uncomfortable. The problem starts with the way people define planning. They think planning means restriction. They think it means saying no to everything that brings joy, living on rice and beans, never going out, never buying anything unless it's absolutely necessary. That's not planning, that's punishment. And punishment doesn't work long term. Real financial planning is about decision making. It's about choosing consciously instead of reacting emotionally. It's about knowing that buying something today means not buying something else tomorrow, and being okay with that trade-off because you made it intentionally. Here's what happens when you don't plan. You spend based on how you feel. Tired, you order food. Stressed, you buy something online. Bored, you scroll and shop. Anxious about money, you avoid looking at your balance, which makes the anxiety worse, which makes you spend more to cope. You're not making financial decisions. You're letting your emotions drive while your wallet is in the passenger seat, bleeding out. Slowly, without a plan, every expense feels random, every bill feels like a surprise, and every month feels like survival mode. Now let's talk about what planning actually is. It's 3 things, and none of them require a finance degree. First, it's awareness. You need to know, down to the last dollar, how much money you have right now and how much is coming in. Not roughly, not approximately. Exactly. Most people can't answer that question. They know their salary maybe, but they don't know what actually lands in their account after taxes, after deductions, after the automatic payments they forgot they set up 2 years ago. You can't plan with guesses. You plan with facts. Second, planning is allocation. Once you know what you have, you decide where it goes before it goes there, not after, before. Rent, utilities, food, transport, debt, savings, everything gets assigned. This isn't about making the money stretch or finding magical ways to have more. It's about being honest. If your expenses are higher than your income, no amount of hoping will fix that. You either cut expenses, increase income, or accept debt. Those are the only 3 options. A plan forces you to face that reality instead of pretending it'll work itself out. Third, planning is adjustment. Life changes, prices go up, income fluctuates, emergencies happen. A plan isn't a stone tablet, it's a living document. You look at it, you update it, you shift things around when reality demands it. People fail at Planning because they create it once, it doesn't go perfectly, and they throw the whole thing away. That's like trying to learn guitar, hitting a wrong note and deciding you'll never be a musician. Plans fail when they're rigid. They succeed when they're flexible but intentional. Let's address the myths. Myth 1. You need a lot of money to plan. False. Planning is more critical when you have less. When every dollar matters, every dollar needs a job. Wealthy people can afford to be careless. You can't. Myth 2. Planning takes too much time. Also false. Once you set it up, maintaining a plan takes 10 minutes a week. That's less time than you spend scrolling social media before bed. Myth 3. Planning kills spontaneity. Wrong again. Planning creates freedom. When you know exactly what's available, you can enjoy it without guilt, without that nagging voice in the back of your head, wondering if you just made a huge mistake. The biggest mental block people have is thinking planning is about the future. It's not. It's about the present. Yes, it helps your future self, but the immediate benefit is clarity right now, today. When you have a plan, you stop second-guessing every purchase. You stop feeling guilty when you spend money on something you enjoy because you already decided that money was for enjoyment. You stop panicking when a bill arrives because you already set that money aside. Planning removes the constant low-level anxiety that most people carry about money without even realizing it. Another block. People associate financial planning with failure. They think, if I need a plan, it means I'm bad with money. That's backwards. Not having a plan is what's keeping you bad with money. A plan is a tool, not a punishment. You don't feel ashamed for using a GPS when you're lost. You shouldn't feel ashamed for using a budget when your money feels chaotic. The shame comes from staying lost and pretending you're fine. Here's the part most financial advice skips: the emotional component. Money is emotional. Spending feels good. Saving feels like sacrifice. Debt feels like failure. You can have the best plan in the world, but if you don't address the feelings driving your behavior, the plan won't hold. This is why people blow their budgets on payday. The money hits the account, and there's this rush, this sense of relief and possibility, and suddenly all the rules go out the window. You've been holding back for 2 weeks, and now you want to reward yourself. That's human, but it's also destructive if it's not managed. So how do you manage it? You build in intentional releases. You plan for pleasure. You allocate money specifically for things that make you feel good, and you don't feel guilty about it because it's part of the plan. That's the difference between a sustainable plan and a crash diet. Crash diets fail because they're miserable. Financial crash diets fail for the same reason. You can't live in deprivation mode forever. You need balance, and balance requires planning. Let's get practical. Start with 1 month. Not a year, not 5 years. 1 month. Write down everything you earn and everything you spend, not what you think you spend, what you actually spend. Track it. Every coffee, every subscription, every random thing you forgot about. Do this for 30 days. No judgment, just observation. You'll be shocked. Most people are. You're not tracking to shame yourself. You're tracking to see the truth, because the truth is the only place you can start from. Once you have that data, you categorize needs versus wants, fixed versus variable, necessary versus optional. Needs are things you literally cannot live without: shelter, food, basic transport. Wants are everything else. Fixed costs are the same every month: rent, insurance, phone bill. Variable costs change: groceries, gas, entertainment. This breakdown shows you where you have control and where you don't. You can't negotiate your rent every month, but you can adjust how much you spend on food or entertainment. Now comes the hard part: making cuts if you need to. If your spending exceeds your income, something has to give. Look at your variable wants first, not because wants are bad, but because they're the easiest to adjust without destroying your life. Can you cook more instead of ordering out? Can you use free entertainment instead of paid? Can you cut one subscription and not even notice it's gone? Small cuts add up faster than you think. But here's the key: don't cut everything. That's how you end up miserable and back where you started. Cut strategically. Keep the things that genuinely add value to your life. Remove the things you do out of habit, convenience, or distraction. If cutting isn't enough, you have to look at increasing income. This isn't about hustling yourself into exhaustion. It's about evaluating whether your current work is paying you what you're worth, whether there are opportunities you're ignoring, whether you have skills you're not monetizing. Sometimes the answer is asking for a raise. Sometimes it's switching jobs. Sometimes it's picking up a side project that actually interests you. But don't fall into the trap of thinking more income alone will solve the problem. If you're spending unconsciously now, you'll spend unconsciously with more money. The behavior has to change first. Here's a reality check. Financial planning won't make you rich. It won't turn you into a millionaire overnight. It won't even guarantee you'll be comfortable. What it will do is give you control. It'll show you where your money is going and let you decide if that's where you want it to go. It'll reduce the chaos, the surprises, the panic. It'll turn money from this unpredictable, stressful force into something you manage instead of something that manages you. And that control? That's the foundation of everything else. You can't invest wisely if you don't know what money you have to invest. You can't pay off debt strategically if you don't know where your money is going. You can't save for emergencies if you're living paycheck to paycheck without understanding why. Every financial goal you have starts with a plan, not a vague intention, a plan. Written down, specific, honest. One more thing, planning isn't sexy, it's not exciting. It won't give you a dopamine hit like buying something new or seeing a big number in your account. It's boring, repetitive, and sometimes frustrating. But boring works. Consistency works. The things that change your life aren't the dramatic moments. They're the small, repeated actions that compound over time. Financial planning is one of those actions. This is where most content would tell you that starting is easy, that you just need to believe in yourself, that if you follow these steps, everything will be fine. That's not true. Starting is hard. Staying consistent is harder. You'll mess up. You'll have months where the plan falls apart. You'll spend money you didn't mean to spend. You'll forget to track something. You'll get frustrated and want to quit. That's normal. The difference between people who succeed and people who don't isn't that successful people never fail. It's that they don't treat failure as a reason to stop. They adjust and keep going. So here's the real question. Are you planning to control your money, or is your money controlling you? Because right now, if you don't have a plan, the answer is obvious. And if that bothers you, good. Let it bother you enough to do something about it. Not tomorrow, not next month, when things calm down, not when you finally have more money. Now, with what you have, where you are, as messy as it feels, that's where planning starts. That's where control starts. And that's where survival becomes something more than just getting by. Mind of Value doesn't promise easy solutions because they don't exist. But if you're here, you're already looking for clarity instead of comfort, and that's the decision that changes everything.